Have you ever gotten surgery so that you can breastfeed somebody else's baby? Well, that's exactly what this foster mom did, and she was very confused about the difference between foster care and foster to adopt. In this video, I'm going to explain the difference between the two. For the best adoption advice, subscribe to my channel and be sure to hit that bell button so that you can be notified when I post a new video every Wednesday. Hi, my name is Lacrice Bundy and I am an adoption attorney. I have helped a lot of foster families adopt their foster children. I have also worked in the juvenile court system, representing the children who are placed in foster care and also the biological parents whose children were taken away from them. So, what is the difference between foster care and foster to adopt? Well, foster care is basically when you're deciding that you want to be a safe home for children who are being taken away from their homes. So the foster care system is basically set up to take children away from unsafe homes and to place them in safe homes. And the goal of foster care is that that child gets to go back home. After the parents fix whatever it is that was wrong, that child gets to go home. That's the whole point of the foster care system. Now we know the foster care system is broken in so many different ways, and that we are not doing a very good job at keeping those children safe anywhere they go. But that is a topic for another video. So, how do you become a licensed foster parent? Well, you basically need to find a foster care agency. Here in Nebraska, one that I've worked for before, they're called Christian Heritage. They're a great foster care agency. Basically, you need to go through training. Take all the classes, and then you also need to do a home study. And once you've passed all of that, you become a licensed foster parent with that agency. After you're done doing, the licensing and everything, you basically just wait until your agency calls you and lets you know about a kid that has just been put in the foster care system. And if your home is a good match for them, the agency will call you and let you know, and then you get to say yes or no. Now, if you have had experience with the foster care system, I would love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below and tell me about it. Now, what about foster to adopt? Foster to adopt is very different because your goal in doing foster to adopt is that you want to adopt a child from the foster care system. That's your goal. So you're going in there with the mindset of, I want to do an adoption. Now, that's a little harder to do, but it's definitely doable. So basically, all you need to do is follow the same steps that I talked about earlier to become a foster parent, because you have to be a licensed foster parent to be able to adopt out of the foster care system. Now, you basically have two options if you want to adopt out of the foster care system. Here in Nebraska, you can look over the Nebraska Heart Gallery, and I'm going to link to the website below. But it is a website where you can see pictures of foster children who are actually eligible to be adopted right now because their parents' rights have already been terminated. So there are a lot of children who are waiting for their forever families. And if you find a child that you fall in love with, you can become a licensed foster parent and then adopt that child right away. Okay, so you don't have to wait to be placed with a child and then wait, for them to be eligible for adoption. Okay, that's your first option. Your second option is basically just become a licensed foster parent, wait for your agency to call you, and hope that the child that they place you with will be eligible for adoption in the near future. And that, I think it's a lot harder for families to go through because they're thinking, if my agency calls me and I get a child and they think the child may be eligible for adoption, for sure they're going to be eligible. That's what happened with the story I was telling you earlier, the foster mom that I was telling you about. I was working with the foster care agency, like I was telling you before, Christian Heritage, and she was one of the families that I was supporting. And so when the baby came into her home, this baby, the mom had already had 5 or 6 kids taken away from her through foster care. And so when she had this other baby, the state, as soon as the baby was born, the state took the baby away from the mom, and they placed them with my family, my foster mom that I was helping. And she decided that, hey, since mom's rights have already been terminated to these other 5 children, I know for sure her rights will be terminated to this one. So I'm just going to go ahead and get surgery so that I can breastfeed this baby. So I had to re-educate her that even if a mom has had 5, 10, 20, I don't care how many children taken away from her, the state still has to go through the step that they need to take to make sure that her rights are terminated before you can adopt this baby. So there's a chance that this mom could get her act together because this is her sixth child. She could wake up one day and be like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to get clean. And if she does, the state will give her time to do that. And then she could get that kid back in her home because she's the biological mom. And so, again, I had to re educate this foster mom and explain to her, hey, you're still a foster parent, and your goal right now is still reunification. And even though you want to adopt this child, we still have to give the biological mom a chance to reunify. And once the judge completely terminates that biological mom's rights, if it's, while you're waiting for that to happen, you're still a foster parent, and it's still your job to support reunification. And so, yeah, it was great. And so, one of the things that I want to say is what I see and what I think of is a complete tragedy is there's this big gap, right? There's a gap between families who are yearning and hoping to grow their family through adoption that I work with, and then there are children who are waiting for forever families, and their older children just waiting to be adopted. And there's this gap, and it seems like, gosh, if there are so many families waiting to adopt a child and so many children waiting to be adopted, why are we like bringing these two together and closing the gap? Well, unfortunately, what I have found is that most families who are looking into adoption want to adopt a newborn baby. And it's not just a theory, it's what I've heard from a lot of families who want to adopt because they don't want to deal with children who are older and who've gone through the trauma, and they just don't want to deal with the trauma, is the way they say it. So, as much as I love helping families grow through adoption, my heart also breaks for the children who are in the foster care system and who are waiting to be adopted by a family. So, if you have the heart for adoption, I would just tell you to really consider foster care adoption. Yes, it may take longer than it would, but really the time that it will take for you to wait to adopt this child from foster care is the same amount of time it'll take you to adopt a newborn baby. I mean, it's the length is the same. It's not like if you adopt a newborn baby from Wyoming, they're going to be in your home tomorrow, right? Like it's going to take a few months for you to be matched, for you to do your profile and all that good stuff. Same thing with foster care. It's going to take a few months, maybe a year, for you to adopt that child. But it's just a different way to grow your family through adoption. So if you're thinking about it, really consider foster care. Now, if you're one of those families who is like, nope, we want to adopt a newborn baby, that's still amazing because you're still opening up your heart to a child to come into your home that you want to love and take care of. So for you, I made a special video just for you where I just explain to you the steps that you need to take if you're considering doing adoption of a newborn baby. So I'm going to link that link below as well. Go ahead and check it out. And yeah, so if you have any questions, you can email me. My information is below. Otherwise, that's it, folks. So I hope that you like this video. If you liked it, make sure you click that like button. Be sure to subscribe, and I will talk to you later. Oh, be sure to share with your friends. All right, bye.